Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997, and I'm back this time to review the Masters of the Universe Classics Trapjaw Evil and Armed for Combat figure. Now, this is the reissue version, just picked him up off MattyCollector.com. And I used to think when they reissued a figure, they would change something on the figure itself, maybe leave some paint off or something. But that's actually not true. All they do is stick this little logo down here on the side of the box that says the original. Of course, over here you've got Trapjaw Evil and Armed for Combat. Other than that, the figure inside the packaging is unchanged, so unless you want to keep him in packaging, there's really no difference in the original release and this release. But as you can see here, he's got all of his standard arm attachments. He's got his laser gun, his hook, and his pincer, as well as pretty well hidden down here. You can see an alternate arm and his head, if you want him as just a standard Cronus figure. But on the back of the packaging here, you have a few more characters in the wave: Triclops, Skeletor, Beastman, Webstor, and Merman. And his little read-up says, Trapjaw, real name Cronus. An insane criminal from the dimension of Infinita, Cronus was one of the several evil warriors freed from an intergalactic prison by Keldor, to bolster his ranks during the start of the Great Unrest. After serving Keldor for years, Cronus grew ambitious and raised an army of his own to challenge his master, now a powerful overlord of evil. Skeletor defeated Cronus, breaking his jaw and arm and leaving him for dead. Found and rebuilt by Triclops, Cronus was transformed by him into Trapjaw, a man armed with combat weapons and an iron jaw. So, very nice looking figure here. Let's pull this bad boy out of the packaging. And here we have Trapjaw, or Cronus rather, out of packaging. I didn't want to get a look at Cronus first, just because I know the least about this character, and like many other toy reviewers have said on YouTube, I can't imagine anyone who just bought one of these who's only going to display Cronus. I think everybody was buying him for Trapjaw. But if you did buy two, you could definitely... He is a very different looking figure. Of course, if you also give you something to put some of your weapon pack accessories with. But a nice looking figure, but once again I bought it for Trapjaw. So I'll show you how you switch it out here. Oh, also on a side note, I don't know that much about Cronus, but it seems like the blue shade of his chest is definitely clashing with the metallic blue paint of his arms. And I don't know if Cronus was supposed to have metallic limbs before he became Trapjaw or what. Of course, get the actual Trapjaw head on here. Pull off his arm. Oops. All these connect really well. Oops, almost forgot. His shoulder pad, of course. Now his arm. Gotta make sure the peg lines up. There we go. And last but not least, his belt, which just has a simple little tab like this. Lift him up. Oop, almost put it on there upside down. And tab it on in the back here. Sometimes this tab doesn't like to catch because it is a soft plastic. You just got to make sure you put a lot of force on it. And there you go, you have your Trapjaw figure. Which in my personal opinion, far outshines Cronus. Of course, I have his laser attachment on his arm. Once again, he does come with his pincer, which opens and closes, and his hook. All of which have some very nice detail. So you can see there's a lot of nice little blue dabs of paint to make it look like it's really high-tech, I guess. Same goes for the hook and the pincer. But speaking of detail, let's actually get a look at this. So you can see if you lower Trapjaw's jaw down and zoom in, you can actually see the ruined remains of what was his original jaw, and that's just creepy. It's a great little Easter egg to the figure, and I really dig that. There's a lot of great detail all down this guy. I've already talked about his nice little technological blue paint apps. Of course, I already talked about how his arms have really nice metallic shine to them. And overall, just a great level of paint on this guy. So let's actually get a look at some of his other arm attachments on here. Not the light, sorry about that. His pincer, which is over here. And his hook. Personally, I'm a fan of the laser weapon, laser pistol, laser gun, what have you. So that's the one I'm going to have him using. But no matter which one you pick, the little loops on the side of his belt can be used to let the other two accessories dangle, which is a really nice little touch that you can store all his accessories with the exception of the alternate head and arm on him. So let's actually pull these off and get a look at his articulation. Trapjaw does a full 360 at the head as well as some up and down and has an articulated jaw. His arm does a full 360, bends at the elbow, and spins at the bicep. Of course, his weapon also spins. Over here, arm goes out, 360, spins at the bicep, elbow joint, and wrist joint. Has an abdomen joint, turns at the waist, although a little hindered by his belt. Let's go out, back, bend at the knee, and have an ankle joint. Little side note, it seems like my knee joints came a little bit loose out of packaging. That may just be mine, but it's definitely noticeable, although it doesn't hinder posing him at all. Now, on to a final thoughts on Trapjaw. A fantastic figure. This is definitely one of the occasions that the Masters of the Universe Classics line have outdone themselves. And if previously released figures are any indication, he's only going to get more pricey. The original one went to $60 to $80 pretty quick off his original release. I just picked this guy up off the reissue, and I can only imagine his price is going to go up over time. So if you want this guy, and you should, you definitely need to rush out and get him. Almost regret not getting two, so I'd have one Cronus to display, but once again, I don't know that much about the character. But still, great accessories, great figure, amazing paint, and great articulation, if not a little bit loose in the knees. Easily an A+ in my book, and this is JTrain997 saying I'll see you soon, YouTube.